My name is Teacher John. I'm going to take you through Primary 6 Term 2. Primary 6 Term 2. We are done with Term 1. Now we are looking at Term 2. So if you have not acquired the Term 2 booklet for science, please come to school and get one because they are ready so that you can follow us on online classes. So we are going to look at the first topic of Term 2, science, which is classification of plants. In Term 1 we looked at classification of animals, and we grouped animals into vertebrates and invertebrates. Then here we are going to classify plants, and the plants are going to be classified into two. We have what we call flowering plants and non-flowering plants. But before that, you need to know what plants are. What are plants? What is a plant? Now, a plant is a living organism with chlorophyll and can make its own food. Plants are living things that have chlorophyll and can make their own food. So, in summary, that's how we can define a plant. A living thing that has chlorophyll and can make its own food. We said plants can be grouped into two groups. We have non-flowering plants and flowering plants. Now, non-flowering plants are divided into two. We have spore-bearing plants and conifers. Spore-bearing plants we have ferns, mosses, liverworts, hostings. There are four. Then conifers we have pine, cypress, podo, fir, and so on. Then flowering plants, they are divided into two. We have monocots and dicots, or monocotyledonous plants and dicotyledonous plants. Then under monocots we have cereals. Under dicots we have legumes or leguminous plants. Now, something you need to note, NB. Fungi like mushrooms, puffballs, toadstools, molds, yeast, and bracket fungi are not plants because they do not have chlorophyll and they cannot make their own food. So, mushrooms, puffballs, bracket fungi, toadstools, yeast, molds are not plants. Reason, they don't have chlorophyll and they cannot make their own food. So we cannot classify them as plants. So for them they are under fungi. Then we look at flowering plants. What are flowering plants? Flowering plants are plants that bear flowers and reproduce by means of seeds. Flowering plants are plants that bear flowers and reproduce by means of seeds. I repeat, flowering plants are plants that bear flowers and reproduce by means of seeds. We said flowering plants are categorized into two. We have what we call monocotyledonous plants and dicotyledonous plants. Now, monocotyledonous plants are plants whose seeds have one cotyledon, and when we say mono means one. So these are plants whose seeds have one cotyledon, they have fibrous root system, and so on. Then dicotyledonous plants are plants with parallel divination. Their seeds have two cotyledons, and so on. So they are divided into monocots and dicots. We shall begin with monocots. Under monocots we have legumes. Now, what are legumes? Legumes are plants with root nodules. Legumes are plants with root nodules. Examples of legumes we have beans, soybeans, groundnuts, cowpeas, pigeon pea, then bambara nuts. Characteristics of legumes. Characteristics of legumes. One, they have root nodules, then they store their seeds in pods. This is a root of a legume. You can see the root nodules. These root nodules store nitrogen fixing bacteria. Then the nitrogen fixing bacteria fix nitrogen in the soil. So it is very, very simple. Root nodules store nitrogen fixing bacteria. Then the nitrogen fixing bacteria fix nitrogen into the soil. Next, we look at cereals. We look at cereals. Now, cereals are monocotyledonous plants that produce grains. Cereals are monocotyledonous plants that produce grains. Characteristics of cereals: they have parallel venetion, they have fibrous root system, they undergo hypogene germination, where the cotyledon remain in the soil, then their grains have one cotyledon. Their grains have one cotyledon. Example of cereals: we have maize, wheat, sorghum, millet, barley, rice, and oats. Those are examples of cereals, and if you look at them, they have fibrous root system, they undergo hypogene germination, meaning that their cotyledons remain under the ground. Then their grains have only one cotyledon. That's why we call them monocotyledonous plants or cereals. Then in case they ask you, why is maize called a cereal? Maize produces grains. That's why it's called a cereal. Then seeds and fruit dispersal. Seed dispersal is the scattering of seeds from the mother plant to other areas. Seed dispersal is the scattering of seeds from the mother plant to other areas. Then we have agents of seed dispersal. We have three agents of seed dispersal. We have water, we have animals, then we have running water as an agent. We have wind. We have wind, then animals. We have wind, animals, and running water. Let's begin with the seeds dispersed by animals. Characteristics of seeds dispersed by animals. Characteristics of seeds dispersed by animals. One, they have hooks. They have hooks. Seeds which are dispersed by animals, they have hooks for attachment. 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 So those hooks attach themselves on bodies of animals. The hooks attach themselves on bodies of animals. That's why we are saying they have hooks for attachment. Then they have sticky hair. They have sticky hair. They have sticky hair. They have sticky hair. They are juicy and fleshy. They are juicy and fleshy. Look at mangoes. They have a lot of juice and they have a lot of flesh. Look at pineapples. Look at apples. So they are juicy and fleshy. Look at avocado, oranges. All those are dispersed by animals. Which characteristics do they have? They are juicy and they are fleshy. Then they have bright colors when ripe. They have bright colors when ripe. They have bright colors. They have bright colors when ripe. They have bright colors when ripe. So seeds that are dispersed, or fruits which are dispersed by animals, they have bright colors when they are ripe. Look at mangoes, oranges. When they are ripe, they turn orange if they are oranges. If they are bananas, they become yellow. If they are apples. So that means that they change their color, they become bright. Why they have a bright color? To attract animals so that they can be dispersed. That's why they have those bright colors, to attract animals for dispersal. Then they produce sweet smell when ripe. 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 So that simply means why they produce a sweet smell when they are ripe? To attract animals so that they can come and pick them up for dispersal. Remember we said seed dispersal is the scattering of seeds from the mother plant to other areas. There is a song that you can learn for you to memorize the definition of seed dispersal. And this is how it goes. Seed dispersal is the scattering of seeds from the mother plant to the other areas, Seed dispersal is the scattering of seeds from the mother plant to the other areas, I repeat for the last time. Seed dispersal is the scattering of seeds from the mother plant to the other areas, So it simply means that seed dispersal is the scattering of seeds from the mother plant to other areas. So we looked at characteristics of seeds that are dispersed by animals. Remember, an animal is an agent of seed dispersal. They have hooks for attachment, they have sticky hair, they are juicy and fleshy, they have bright colors when ripe, they produce sweet smell when ripe. We look at examples of seeds and fruits dispersed by animals. Examples of fruits and seeds dispersed by animals. Examples of seeds and fruits dispersed by animals. Examples of seeds and fruits dispersed by animals. 1, we have guavas, guava, mangoes, passion fruits, tomatoes, we have red pepper, blackjack, red pepper. So these are examples of seeds that are dispersed by animals. Then lastly, look at seeds dispersed by wind. Characteristics of seeds dispersed by wind. Characteristics of seeds dispersed by wind. 1, they have wing-like structures. These wing-like structures help them to move. They have wing-like structure. They have wing-like structures, meaning that the structures are like wings. The structures which they have are like wings. They are like butterflies. So they have wing-like structures. They have wing-like structures. Then they are light. They are light. They are light. Them being light helps them to be carried by wind, to be able to be carried by wind. Then they have parachute-like structures. They have a structure which is like a parachute. They have parachute-like parachutes. They have parachute-like structures. They have parachute-like structures. Then they have a tuft of hair. They have a tuft of hair. They have a tuft. They have a tuft of hair. They have a tuft of hair. Those are characteristics of seeds dispersed by wind. They have wing-like structures, meaning that they have structures which are like wings. Then they are light to be blown by wind. They have parachute-like structures, meaning that they have a structure which look like a parachute. Then they have a tuft of hair. We have examples of seeds of fruits dispersed by wind. Examples of seeds of fruits dispersed by wind. Examples of seeds dispersed by wind. One, we have what we call jacaranda. Jacaranda. Number two, we have what we call dandelion. Dandelion. Then we have what we call tree ducks, then cotton seeds. Tree ducks. Then we have cotton seeds. Cotton seeds can begin by drawing jacaranda. So this is a seed. Then these are the wing-like structures. Wing-like structures. Then we have tree ducks. Tree ducks has a parachute-like structure. This one is called tree ducks. So this one has a parachute-like structure. And say it has a parachute-like structure. Then this one has wing-like structure. Jacaranda has a wing-like structure. Then you have cotton seeds, then dandelion, and so on. So that is all about seed dispersal. If you look at seeds dispersed by wind, seeds dispersed by animals. So we've come to the end of our lesson. In our next lesson, we shall look at characteristics of seeds dispersed by water. Otherwise, thanks for listening and God bless you.